Hello, everybody. My name is Cessna, and I wanted to share my breast cancer mastectomy experience. So, how my breast cancer started for me, the first sign was I used to sleep on my stomach, and one night in the middle of the winter, this past winter, it was uncomfortable to sleep on my stomach. I couldn't anymore. And that was the very first sign. And then I started having some pretty severe depression and fatigue. I just felt so down and I wasn't able to keep up with my life's responsibilities. I was just so exhausted. Like, I would work and then I would come home and I would just go to sleep. And I remember I couldn't keep up with all of my things like bills, taking out my garbage, doing my dishes, doing laundry. I'm a single mom as well. I have a 10-year-old son. And I just didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I was like so exhausted. I couldn't function. I wasn't able to live my life. Like I couldn't keep up with my responsibilities. So I went to my naturopath, who I had been seeing regularly for autoimmune symptoms. But I went in to see her and I just told her, like, I'm very desperate. I don't know what to do. I'm not able to, like, live my life right now. It felt like there was, like, a huge just mountain of responsibility and I didn't even know where to begin. Like, I was just so far behind. Just even, like, mentally. I've also was in the process of losing my dad to dementia for the past, like, 4 years. And it had just kind of built up and I don't know, everything just felt like it really, like, accumulated and piled up and I couldn't cope. I told her, like, it was a crisis. I have never tried an antidepressant before or anything like that. Nothing. I mean, I'm very all about just, like, natural and eating healthy. I like supplements, trying different supplements like L-theanine or, certain teas and adaptogens, but this was like 911. I need help. I'll do anything. I was on my last straw, basically. And so she prescribed me an antidepressant called Wellbutrin and did a full panel blood test to see if I was deficient in anything. I started the Wellbutrin. First time I took it, within like 20 minutes, I had such energy. Like, it was crazy. I have a karaoke machine, and after like 20 minutes after I took it, I started singing karaoke for about 2 hours straight, like belting it out and dancing. And I don't know, man, like, it's as close as what I would imagine to being on, like, crack or something is. I literally, like, my son was scared because I went from, like, just being down and out a lot to, like, having this. I was, like, singing with a microphone and dancing, and, like, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. That was great. Wellbutrin gave me, like, so much energy. I felt really happy. I was able to get going on my life and totally catch up, and, like, that was cool and everything. So I got my, like, full panel blood test back and I was really deficient in electrolytes, like bottom of the barrel, very deficient. And iron, yeah, iron, super, super low on iron. Trying to remember what else it was. Electrolytes, iron, vitamin D3, like, deficient. Nothing in there. I have Hashimoto's that I've been managing since I was 17 too, so it's not out of the ordinary for me to feel horrible and tired. Hopefully things will be better now, but at this time, I was kind of used to feeling tired. So I was really deficient in these things. I started supplementing. I put electrolytes into every single thing that I drank, like my coffee, my water. I drank water all day long, and my blood work kept showing that I was dehydrated and didn't have electrolytes. And iron, I was taking a very high dose of iron, a very, very high dose of vitamin D3. I think it was like 35,000 IUs every day. Um, and meanwhile, I was taking Wellbutrin while supplementing with these things. Next thing I know, one day, the day after New Year's Eve, well, okay, so New Year's Day, 2024, I woke up and I was in so much pain. It felt like I had been in an accident. My knees hurt so bad, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even lift my legs to get out of bed. It was horrible. I thought that I injured myself walking or something, but I didn't. I didn't do anything. I mean, I walked around that night just casually for 30 minutes. I'm a very, very strong person physically. It made no sense. And it was so bad. My knees were swollen up. It looked like I had broken my knees. It was so bad. I couldn't take my son to school. My mom had to come over every morning and get him for me. I went to the urgent care place. Well, first I Googled Wellbutrin and knee pain and swelling. Right away I found an article that said, it was some medical journal. It said something like, female patient in her 30s with a thyroid disease, Wellbutrin caused drug-induced lupus. I went to the urgent care clinic and I asked them, could this be what this is? I had been taking it for, I think, 3 weeks by then. And I just didn't want it to be the Wellbutrin. I really didn't want it to be, because it made me feel so much better. And they looked at the article. It was from 2017, and they just dismissed it and said, this is old, outdated information. Gave me a thingy that wraps around your knee, whatever. I don't know, what the fuck is it? It's not a cast, it's you know what the hell I mean. That helped a lot, but they wanted me to keep taking the Wellbutrin, and I kept taking it, and went to my naturopath, and we did my full panel again to check up on everything, and I had new autoimmune markers in my blood work, and one was drug-induced lupus. I told my naturopath about the article, and she agreed that I should stop taking it. I did, but my levels of those deficient vitamins were still extremely low. About 2 days after stopping the Wellbutrin, my knee went almost completely back to normal. So right after that time, I discovered a lump in my breast. Really small. It was on my right side, kind of up in the corner, not too close to my armpit, but kind of in there. Really, really small. I had really dense breasts before, which means they were not soft. They were nice and firm. I loved them so much. But, when you have dense breasts and they're firm, they're full of kind of lumps that are firm. So I didn't say anything to anybody. I just would feel it. And around that time, also, I started walking every day. And because my knee was better, I couldn't wait to get out and exercise again. I didn't do anything about the lump. I would Google all the time, breast cancer symptoms, how to tell if a lump is breast cancer or not, Googling first symptoms of breast cancer, yada, yada, yada. And there's so many things that just aren't really true. People say breast cancer doesn't hurt, or I remember a friend of mine told me, if it's breast cancer, it'll just feel like a stone in your body. It won't be soft at all. Not true. So anyway, I'm walking every day. I'm getting exercise. I'm feeling great by that time. After that Wellbutrin got out of my system, I will say, I think it did kind of help jumpstart me to start exercising. I don't know. I don't know. So I start slowly jogging every day with my little dog. And I was just so happy about that. So happy to feel better and have the use of my legs again after that drug induced lupus crap. Um, so I figured, like, I don't have breast cancer because I feel so good. I was full of energy, yada, yada, yada. I'm still doing those supplements, high doses, and taking my thyroid medicine too, and eating pretty healthy. Go back to my naturopath, get the full panel done again. This is like probably 4 months after the Wellbutrin thing. And my levels hadn't changed at all. I was still extremely deficient in vitamin D3, iron, electrolytes, which was, I couldn't believe it because I was putting electrolytes in everything and eating extremely healthy. Like, I do very, very dark green smoothies for autoimmune disease, like nutrient dense food. And my levels were still like bottom of the barrel. They hadn't budged. And I wasn't telling my naturopath about my lump. I don't know. I was just like in denial or something. But thankfully, after we looked at my tests, she said, "This is very strange. I usually only see this with my patients who have cancer." And I'm so grateful that she used those words because when she said that, I just knew I had to tell her. Like, it was kind of like, well, since you say that, I guess I have to tell you about my lump. Like, I just wanted to stay in denial, but she did a breast exam right away, felt it, and I love her. I trust her. She's fabulous. But